Alright guys, and today I finally am going to be able to do Aliens, the Original Years Volume 2, which is a follow-up to the Volume 1 that I reviewed over a year ago. I didn't get a chance to review this right away after I read it, just due to some personal reasons and, camera issues. But now that I'm here and I am ready to review it, we're going to get deep into it and see if this is a worthy follow-up to the first volume. The first volume, if you haven't seen my review, little short recap. I really enjoyed it, despite a couple of issues here or there being kind of bad. But overall, it was a fun adventure. Now, does Volume 2 follow that, or do we get some storylines that just drag this volume down a little too much for me personally? Well, let's check it out and see if it lives up to the hype. All right, and so with Alien Original Years Volume 2, I was really excited to dive back in. I am a huge Alien fan, a huge Predator fan, and when I got Volume 2, I was like, well, it's got to be as good as Volume 1. Now, Volume 1 had a few shitty issues, as always. This is an omnibus. There's going to be some bad. But overall, I was really, really loving it for the most part. This one, not so much. But let's start off. When you open the book, we get a couple of little stories here or there, one shots, two shots. Those are all pretty solid, but what really captured my interest are two storylines I really enjoyed, which is Rogue, which is a pretty good storyline and a kind of a twisted ending to it. This storyline kind of goes deep into the nature of creating a monster from humans, or humans are the monster more than the aliens at time, which I really liked. And then we also get Labyrinth, which is also a really good story, again with the mad scientist. And this kind of boosted for me because I like aliens, but I like the story of humans. And when I get involved with the humans, if I get to get attached and love them, then I'm going to like the alien stories more because they're kind of fighting with the aliens and you're worried about the humans. So I think these stories really focused on the human cast and gave us characters that are compelling. Just like Ripley, you love aliens not because of the alien, which are awesome monsters, but because you love Ripley. And this is why the newer movies kind of fail, is because they fail to capture the audience with a character you're rooting for. So I thought both these stories, I'm not saying they're on the level of Ripley, but they had a cast that I actually cared about and liked, and I didn't want them to get murdered ruthlessly by the aliens. So I think the Rogue storyline and the Labyrinth storyline are really strong, and it actually starts the omnibus off really strong in my opinion. But then we hit a huge snag, unfortunately. And let me tell you, this is a snag that is just nasty. That kind of nasty little snag that you get when you fall over and you get like you fall and you hurt your knee, and I don't know what I'm talking about, but you know what I'm saying. You get this 10 issue, long as hell, Alien Colonial Marine run, which is done by multiple writers and artists, and it is just terrible, to be honest. I'm going to be honest. This is one of the worst Alien stories I've read, and it really comes down to a couple of things. The biggest thing is that the characters are awful. There is no character you could connect to in this terribly long, what I call really alien event, because you have multiple writers coming in, and then none of it really connects. Like, something happens at the end of an issue, and then you're in a totally different time zone, like it never happened, or it happened like a month ago, but you don't know. And that's really what's happening here. It's nearly 200 pages of a shit ass story. It really brings this omnibus down, and I have to say that it is in the middle of the omnibus. So when you're reading a great omnibus and you really enjoy it, and then the middle comes and you got almost 200, if not more, pages of garbage. It really, really took this omnibus down for me. Luckily, after that, we do return to some shorter stories, and I think Alien works better with shorter stories. Whenever you have a 2 to 4 to even 6 issue, you really have a better story, but really the 4 or 2 issue ones are the best. We even get a great story from the guy who created Hellboy. I am so sorry, the name's just slipping my mind. But he does an excellent story of a guy in survival, and it very much reminds me of Predator, the first one, where he's surviving against the aliens in this bizarre world. I really like that. We also get kind of an awesome story later on of I'm not. There's like an alien story, aliens versus aliens. I don't know how else to describe it. It's crazy weird. It's not the aliens like the alien like the xenomorphs versus xenomorph. It's like an alien race versus the xenomorphs. Something I didn't really expect to be good, but it was. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, this collection's good. I mean, if you're an Alien fan, you're gonna pick it up anyway, because let's be honest, the actual art is great. You get to see all these different types of aliens, and I think that's what most people here watching are probably like, yeah, I'm a big Alien fan. And I gotta say, I enjoyed some of the stories a lot. Like I said, the Labyrinth Rogue and even the Mike Magano, is that how you say his name? the guy who made Hellboy Story, and a couple other short ones. But I have to say that overall, that Alien Colonial Marine really took it down for me. So I gave the first one like a 3.5 or 4. This I can't give any higher than a 3 because of that really long middle. But will I say it's worth it for Alien fans? I'll tell you this. If you enjoyed the Volume 1, you'll probably enjoy this. Just don't expect it to be as good because of that shit story in the middle. However, if you can get this on sale for about $65 or lower, I think it's definitely worth it for the art alone and the other good stories in between. I'm really hoping that Volume 3 has better stories contained. I didn't read a lot of these stories growing up, so these are all new to me, but I hope it's more like Labyrinth and Rogue and less like Colonial Marine for Volume 3. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you haven't checked out Alien, the Original Years Volume 1, I do have a review, which is my first Omnibus review, so I don't know how good it is, but go check that out. It's really a great volume that I do suggest for Alien fans, and this one is a good follow-up. I just wish it was better. So I'm giving it a 3 out of 5. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and have a good day.